to the No Cap Sports Show podcast, where sports and combos collide. Your host, Fredo, Mo Money, Jay Will, Mills Lane, and Kobe, the co-returner. Authentic, unapologetic, no edits, no cap. Let the combo begin.
Welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast. I am your host, Fredo.
And I'm your host, Kobe, the Cobra Turner.
Hey, right now, viewers and listeners, we're -2 right now. I don't know if they're going to pull up late or not, but guess what, man? We got LeBron James, second version of LeBron James and second version of Kyrie Irving over here, man. That's right, yours truly. So, yeah, we run that two-man weave tonight, baby. How you be, Cobra?
I'm doing well, bro. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I cannot complain. To all the viewers and listeners out there, if you come in, make sure you smash that like button, man. And if you don't, and if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe and smash that bell so you can get all notifications. And you can follow us on Facebook as well, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, Cole, man, guess what, man? It's about that time of the year, champ. I mean, we got March Madness coming up, man.
Yeah, man, March Madness, this is probably one of the most exciting times of the year. I know for me and a lot of people all across the country, wow, you get a whole month of just hoops every single day until you get a champion. That's ain't nothing like it.
It's nothing like it, man. So look at, man, without further ado, man, just let the viewers and listeners know out there. Yeah, we've already completed our brackets and stuff like that for the men's college basketball or what have you. So, Kobe, let me ask you this right now, man. Give us your Final Four.
My Final Four. So I changed it up several times, but but I landed with Texas, Kentucky.
Ooh. And is Kentucky in the West or what?
I gotta check the bracket out.
Okay.
Kansas.
And
I think the favorite, Alabama.
Alabama. Okay, cool. All right, let me go ahead and give you mine. Out the South, I got Alabama. Hey, shout out. What's going on, Jeff, man? How you do, bro?
What's up, Jeff?
Who going to pick up Zeke now? He free. Hey, that's a good question, my man. I do not know, bro. That's a good question. You got any ideas, Kobe?
Zeke, who is Zeke?
He talking about
Elliott.
Yeah, Zeke Elliott. He cut him today.
Hey, look, I don't, when it comes to those Cowboys, yeah, I don't care what they do with them.
In other words, Jeff, he don't give a fuck who pick who.
I think they should hire him to the Dallas Stadium concession stand or something. I just keep him in Dallas. Just give him some type of job.
What's up, Mo Money? Okay, we gonna let Mo fix that. We gonna let Mo fix that right quick. But look, that's gonna be that's a blooper reel right there. But look, out the South, man, I got Alabama.
Okay.
Midwest, I have Texas. Out the West, I got UConn, and the East, I got Marquette.
Ooh.
Marquette, yeah, I got. Hey, yeah, man. What's up, BA?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
What's on? Hey, bro, I added you. I don't know what you.
What's up, bro? What's going on?
Nothing, bro. You good?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, we just in a bit talking about our brackets and stuff like that in terms of who is our Final Four. Hey, BA, make sure you smash that like button. Jeff Smith, smash that like button for us, bro.
That's what's up.
So yeah, Kentucky coming out the East, Fredo.
You think Kentucky coming out the East? I got Marquette. I like that point guard they got too, man.
Yeah, that's their bracket, the East bracket.
The East bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, who's your Final Four, Mo Money?
Final Four. So I got to look it up. I had Alabama winning it all.
Yeah.
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Miller, a problem.
See. Yeah, man.
Major problem.
Yeah. Yes, he is. So my Final Four, I had Alabama, Texas, Duke, and Kansas.
Duke and Kansas.
Yeah.
And you said both of you guys got Alabama winning it all too, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, I got the same thing. It's no need. I wanted to talk about the women's, but me personally, I think it's the Don Staley Invitational. I got South Carolina winning that thing for the third time, man. So
I got South Carolina too, but I keep my fingers crossed for UConn. You know what I mean? And AZ Fudd. You know,
AZ Fudd. She's coming back, right?
Yeah. Well, she's back. She's been back the last several games, but she worked
right. She did play that.
She
man.
Back to the flow of it. So hopefully by the time, they get in the thick of things, she's back to 100%, putting up 30, 40 like she do.
She's right, man. I would say they would give I would say they would have given South Carolina a big time run if Paige Beckers was, was not injured.
That's
but
too.
Yeah.
What up, Brian?
BA.
Yes,
so that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Let me ask you guys this, man. In terms of upsets in that first round, in terms of the men's bracket, do you have a specific update? I mean, a specific upset, because for me, I got Furman beating Virginia.
Ooh, I mean, I got Virginia winning that game, but I can see where you're going with that. Yeah. Furman is a scary team to play.
Furman is scary, man.
Yeah, I got I don't have no huge upsets. I got Utah State beating Missouri in the first round, that 10-7 matchup. I had some 9 seeds beating 8 seeds, but nothing major.
You got Maryland beating West Virginia?
No, I don't. I got West Virginia beating Maryland.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I went with the opposite.
And I got USC beating Michigan State.
Ooh, okay. And I got Michigan State. Okay, I got Michigan State beating USC.
Yeah. Man, I hope you're wrong. I got Michigan State going.
Yeah, I got Michigan State too.
Elite Eight, man.
you got me in Elite Eight? Okay.
Yeah, man, because I just believe in what Tom Izzo has going. A lot of times when you get into the tournament, experience helps. In certain situations, coaching matters. Talent matters, but coaching definitely matters.
Yeah. Oh, and I got VCU over St. Mary's first round.
Okay.
That's probably the far as the gap in seeding. That's probably
right.
The biggest.
Oh, that's not a bad look. That's not a bad look right there, bro.
Yeah, but VCU the truth.
Yeah.
And everybody knows when you talk about NCAA tournament time, you need guard play, and that's what VCU got. They got excellent guard play.
They do. You are absolutely right. Jeff said Howard beating Kansas. Hey, man, anything possible.
If they spot them 50, 60, I can see that happening.
I know, right? Shout out to Kenny Blakeney.
Yeah, coach of the year in this conference.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, shout out to him for
sure.
We
wish. Definitely wish you well. But yeah, don't look like that could be possibly a one and done. But anything is possible. Hey, guys, let me ask you guys this, man. And this is just on another note, right? Because I'm a huge fan of what's his name, Brandon Miller. Yes. Oh my gosh! So
third best prospect in the NBA draft coming this coming year.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, big little bro. Let me ask you this then: would I be out of my mind to pick him number 1 over Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got you. I got you.
Now look, and that's the answer right now. You never know what happens. Down the line, but right now, that would be crazy because Wembanyama is one of those once in a generation talents, and he can change the fortunes of your organization as soon as he steps foot in the building.
Okay,
is he?
You said he's a once in a lifetime player. How do we know that?
I mean, it's just. I mean, if you seen him play, you talking about what is he? 7'5"?
7'5",
7'5", move like a guard, fluid shot, can play off the dribble, can come off screens. He basically Kevin Durant supersized. Okay. That's what he is. And he's a great defender. He protects the rim, and he moves his feet laterally pretty well as too to be his size.
Okay.
So I mean, who's gonna stop him offensively? Who's gonna stop him from scoring? I mean, if you put a bag on him, he's blowing by him and dunking it. If you put anybody other than the bag on him, he's shooting over top of him. Easy. I mean, look how easy Kevin Durant shoot over people. They don't bother his shot at all. You think they're gonna bother Victor Wembanyama's shot?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, his ceiling could be KD like, Dirk like, but his floor is a top 5 defender in the league just by positional size alone and the ability to guard 5 through 3. Mm-hmm. So and then in basketball, just like in football, sometimes, you know, size does matter. You know, if as long as he comes with that heart and he's 7'5", he can at least affect the game on a defensive level. Now, offensively, it's going to take a little time to get that game together because I believe he's too small right now. He's going to have to get that frame up a little bit. Because, I mean, the thing with KD, I know a lot of people compared him, but KD played a lot on the perimeter. Whereas Wembanyama, I project, will have to get a little dirtier on the inside because he doesn't have the shot like KD. Yeah. It ain't pure like that.
And that's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm scared of, bro. That's what I'm afraid of for him.
He's not playing down low. He's not playing down low.
No, he's
no.
He's going to be on the perimeter.
Well, nobody plays down low. Let's be fair. Nobody plays down low anymore because the way that the offenses are designed. Nobody, like sitting in the paint like Shaq, putting their hand up like, hey, let me get that. It's a different game. But I don't even think driving to the lane will be an issue early on. Because he's just not that big. They're gonna touch him up, especially depending on who he plays. That's gonna be the only way. Because Kobe just said it. If you want to sit there and put a big on him on the perimeter, he's gonna blow by him. Well, how do you kind of stop that a little bit? You touch him up when he comes to the paint every single time. And I want to see how does he bounce back from that.
Yeah, I would agree with you if this was 80s, 90s, but nobody touching nobody up these days. Nobody getting touched up. I mean, you might get a little something here and there, but for the most part,
I'm gonna tell you what, Kobe. I'm glad you said that. Mm-hmm. Today's players, and I'm not that old, but they're so soft that you don't even gotta do an 80s, 90s style. Man, I was watching some of them cats. They just the slightest little touch, they on the ground, grimacing. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what, Mo? I don't think the players soft. I think the rules of the league has made them
because it favors the offense.
Right. So I mean, they're just used to a certain rule that basketball has ascended to. So if they would have grew up in a different time, you would see different actions from them. But they're just playing by the rules that they grew up with.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this, man. While we transition, man, NFL free agency, man. Look at he said, "Ooh, I know, right? I know, man. Some nice moves that just transpired. Starting just past Monday night, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, how you feeling, Mo?
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I'm feeling pretty good. Because I'm seeing the demise of the Philadelphia Eagles as we predicted. Me and Fredo, we talk offline all the time about football, and we looked at their cap situation, and you lost your starting corner, arguably your best defensive tackle. Your inside linebackers are gone. So Philadelphia will not look the same defensively. Right. And we could say whatever we want about Jalen Hurts. The one unit that everyone universally was scared of was that defense, the Philadelphia defense. So to see them lose those players, and they just lost Miles Sanders, makes me happy as a Cowboys fan. Another move that has been surprising and perplexing so far is the lack of an appetite full of. I've seen teams go out there and sign David Carr. I've seen the Jets banty about Aaron Rodgers and kicking the tires on him. The Washington Commanders, they brought in Jacoby Brissett. I'm just not understanding. I get it. but it's a little alarming to me as we kick off free agency. And then my last note on free agency as we're going forward, I would say so far a team that has really surprised me is the Chicago Bears as far as maximizing draft capital and the free agent market. And then I'm gonna just take a real shot at the Commanders. Whenever you have your 2 defensive tackles are amongst the top 5 defensive tackles paid in football, I want to see how many games they're going to win you.
What you got, Cobra?
I like Miami Dolphins, what they did in their secondary, getting Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I like what Dallas did, added another corner. I think they did that to match up with Philly's 2 superstar wideouts. So now you got 2 shutdown corners on the outside to contend with Dell. But forget the movement. Forget who signed who and who didn't sign who. What's up with Lamar Jackson, man? That's what I'm looking at. I'm not worried about.
I'm glad you brought that up, bro.
I'm not worried about anybody else's team, what kind of moves they making. I mean, do you see this craziness that's going on with Lamar Jackson? And I mean, it has nothing to do with him as a person. It doesn't have anything to do with him as a player. They're going to make up excuses saying, his style of play, he get injured. It has nothing to do with that. They're trying to control the price tag.
You're right.
Yeah.
Moving forward, and they're using leverage against them. Everybody know there's collusion going on, that the owners got together so they can create this leverage over Lamar Jackson. Come on, all these teams that's starving for a quarterback. You trying to tell me you don't want one of the best 5 to 10 quarterbacks in the league right now that's only 26, who's a former MVP, first team All NFL, and he's sitting out there, and people before it was even time. Like today, Wednesday is the first official day where you can be like, okay, I'm interested in him. I'm interested in it. They've been saying for weeks now, we're not interested in Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Weeks.
Yeah.
They don't even have to say nothing yet. Weeks. They've been saying we're not interested in him. So, I mean, we're not stupid. We see what the narrative is. And like I told Fred last week, this started way back before the season even started. When you get the anonymous defensive coordinator, you know what I mean? That's all coming from Baltimore. I'm telling you now.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, contract year, preseason, he's not in your top 10 quarterbacks preseason. Come on, like all this stuff. They using all of this stuff to kind of control what his contract is going to look like. And I don't like it. If he can get out of Baltimore, if he can get somewhere, I'll be happy for him.
It ain't gonna happen, big little bro. He's gonna be right where he's at.
Right.
If I was a billionaire, I'd call him up and say, "Man, I give you $250 million.
Okay, give me
the game."
Go ahead, Mo. You go ahead and make your point, and I'm gonna come right behind you, champ.
Yeah. So I saw this coming 2 years ago. The first show we did, like they looked at me like I was crazy. They said, what quarterback has the most pressure? Everybody said Dak Prescott. I think at the time, Ron. Hey, what's up, Mills?
Hey, what's up, Mills?
Hey.
I think Ron said somebody at the time.
You good,
I can't
baby?
remember who it was. I said Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson had the most pressure. Because my theory is this. I work off of real life. The pressure comes from not having the bag. The pressure don't come from the bag. Because even if you flake out, you still got 160 million, 130 million. We banty about it and we talk about it. But guess what? You just acquired generational wealth. I saw right then and there, and I talked to you about it, Kobe. Mm-hmm. The fact that they didn't put Lamar Jackson in a traditional offense was going to limit his ceiling or his potential on earnings because of the way that they were utilizing him. They were going to say, one, he was injury prone. Then they were going to come.
Can I ask you this? Was that purposely done?
I told you it was. Mm-hmm. I said it was. Right. I thought it was. I was like, there's no way that I'm seeing him and I'm seeing his completion percentage. I'm looking at his winning record. And I'm like, why are you not surrounding him with more talent? Why is he not screaming at the top of his lungs to be in a traditional offense? Be more vocal about it. He went along to get along, and now this is where he's at. So I wish him the best, but it's been the fix been in for a while.
Yeah, I have a different perspective, and I'm gonna make my point real quick, Mills, so you can go ahead and jump in. We talking about Lamar Jackson, of course. I look here, man. I see him making like little behind the scene quotes and stuff like that on Twitter and stuff like that. He's getting too emotional about this situation. Okay, he's getting too emotional. And I said this last year. I said, hey, maybe jumping out there representing himself may be a bad thing. Because here's the thing, guys. We all know this. If you have an agent and you know that agent is a liaison between the player and, between the player and the and management, right?
Right.
And your job as a player is just to go ahead and focus on whatever you need to focus on. And that agent is going to relay that information back to you. Hey, this is what's going on or what have you.
Worried about too much.
Exactly. And I think that's the issue right now. They offered him $133 million guaranteed. 3 years, $133 million guaranteed. He would have been, it's already been said, big little bro.
That's not enough.
That's disrespectful. I get that.
That's disrespectful. I know 133 million sound like a lot of money, but for him, that's disrespectful.
But hold on, bro. Okay, let me add this to it. He'd have been the second highest paid player in the NFL, right? Outside of what? Deshaun Watson with that $230 million guarantee. That's an albatross of a contract. We already looked at the owners was jacked up. I mean, mad at Cleveland's ownership for giving out that type of contract from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. He was you got what? Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. You have Josh Allen. Everybody's you have Russell Wilson. Everybody slotted like at 100 million, 105 million, 110 million. He would have been slotted at $133 million, and they were going to make it guaranteed over 3 years. And he rebuffed on that. And I mean, I get it. Okay. What we talking about? 150? I mean, bro.
All right, so let me just give you a little pushback, Fred.
Okay, Frank.
If you're a quarterback in the NFL, you're 26 years old. You've already won an MVP. You've already made a few Pro Bowls. You've already been first team all NFL. You're a model citizen. You know what I mean? You've never been in trouble. Your teammates love you. I mean, you pretty much are Baltimore. The people in Baltimore love them. That's why they fill up the stands to come see Lamar Jackson.
It's a song for that, Kobe.
What's that?
Give them what they want, Tony Blunt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So think about this, Fred. Everything I just said, Fred, and then you look at another quarterback that comes to your division, the division that you've been dominating pretty much since you've been there, that haven't played in over a year, who has all type of off the field issues. And then he plays after about a half a season, a little more than a half a season this year, and look like trash. But he can go home and kick his feet up because he got $230 guaranteed. Now, Lamar Jackson, I'm saying I've done everything right on the field and off the field. And you wanna lowball me? Come on.
The 189 is not all guaranteed, Mo.
So he got 103 guaranteed.
That's what I was talking about. The guaranteed money. His 103 guaranteed. I think Russell Wilson follows right below him or what have you, and Josh Allen falls right below him. Lamar Jackson would have been at 133. My bad, Kobe. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I was just responding.
No, it's all good.
Hey, but real quick, fellas, and I know you want to go, Mills. You're chomping at the bit.
Yeah,
the problem with that 133 over 3, Fred, is it's the trick bag, man. Because the issue is what's going to happen is two things, right? Everybody else is getting 5 years. Why can't Lamar Jackson get 5-6 years? That's one. Two, the cap number is going to be so high on that, right? And with it all being guaranteed, they can't move the money unless they extend the contract. So now the excuse becomes we can't surround you with talent because your cap number is so high. So
but you do know this, but Mo, you do know this though. When these guys sign these guaranteed contracts, guys, or what have you, like I said last week, that money out, and I actually made a mistake. I gave you guys bad information. I was saying the situation with Dan Snyder being cash poor, where you sign a big time free agent, that money has to be in escrow right away. Actually, I was wrong. That money has to be in escrow the following year. I think between the beginning of January to March 31st or something like that of 2024. Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
No, but the issue, even with that aside, right? 44 million. If let's just say the cap, I don't know the true cap number. I apologize to the viewers. Let's say the cap is,
I think it's 120,
right? So that leaves only about $80 million to fill out the rest of your roster.
220.
They're going to essentially paint Lamar Jackson as a greedy player, and the reason why Baltimore is devolved of talent. So it's a trick bag if you do that. You want the long term so that they can restructure that contract and move money around to put pieces around you.
And
what you got, Mills?
Mills go,
yeah,
they could have added pieces to Baltimore these last 4 or 5 years.
I agree with that, Kobe.
He was on a rookie contract.
Kobe, go ahead. You preaching now.
So when we talked a couple weeks ago, you all told me, and I didn't know, that his mom was helping with his representation at first, right?
Right.
So let me just go. I mean, I've heard a little bit of what you all say, and I actually agree. But could it be that, he's working so hard because his mom isn't getting the respect and she doesn't have the built network and the good old boy network to make these moves? Or could she just not know, like she's, trying to figure it out? I mean, this is for your first big client to be your son and to be as big as Lamar Jackson, but she may not get the respect from the white heads and to be able to move and shop him around the way he should. Like his stats speak for himself, I'm just throwing that out there as a different way to look at it and why it's been so hard for him to pinpoint one price point, and why are they lowballing him? And then if he is working hard on his own behalf, that's a lot. Like that's a last mental, that's emotional, I don't know. That's just my take. But
no, you're right, Mills. It's a great point. But as I stated, from my perspective, man, when you're in this type of business, man, you got to put them feelings to the side. If you want to represent yourself, then you got to put that stuff to the side, man. You can't be showing emotions and stuff like that on Twitter.
I don't think he has outwardly. Like a camera shot here, a camera shot there. But I'm talking about long term. I mean, when you're talking about this much money and this much at stake, and then putting your body through what you got to go through every weekend and being hurt and sitting out, like that's a lot.
Me personally, I think he has some type of advisor on the side. I can, he's like a confidant, right? Somebody, a former agent, somebody.
I agree. I hope that he, I hope that he could get a good agent. I mean, he can.
Right.
That's his choice.
So this is the picture I want to paint, right? I watched last week's show, and I don't think y'all brought this up. And Kobe, you dealt with agents before. I'm pretty sure Mills, you dealt with them as well, right? The reason why you want representation, and I got a lawyer. I know Fred probably got a lawyer friend too. It's not because of their representation, it's their reputation and their other clients. So if Lamar Jackson was with, let's just take it to basketball because it's easy. Rich Paul out there, right? Rich Paul has so many clients that if you don't play ball with a certain client, he will essentially blacklist your franchise. And that's why you need that agent to be in that room to leverage his other clients with set franchise, right? Because Lamar Jackson would be the equivalent of a LeBron James or Kevin Durant. He's a headliner for that agent. But there are other subsequent clients that would be with that agency. And they're like, look, if you're not going to treat my superstar right, then I'm not even dealing with you with the rest of my guys, and we'll walk. And then at that point, now you have true leverage. But when you out there by yourself, and I'm all about independence, you are truly out there by yourself. Like there's no one in your corner. And then all the little dirty things that a team would say that is a business, because it's a business. They're going to bring up his completion percentage. They're going to bring up the fact that he had 19 touchdowns in 2020. They're going to bring up the fact that he hasn't been healthy the last 2 years. But instead of them telling that to a middleman, they're telling that to his moms, to Mill's point, and to him directly to his face. And that can be hard to kind of like stack on the Mill's point to digest when you're sacrificing everything for this franchise, and they're throwing it back at you. Like, nah, bro, that ain't enough. I need more. So this should be a life lesson to any young man or woman that's playing sports these days that want to represent themselves. Like Fred is saying, put your feelings to the side. Understand you're giving up some things to keep your 10%.
There it is at the end of the day. And to all the viewers and listeners out there that's chiming in, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can get all future notification bells. I mean, notifications. I say notification bells, all future notifications. What the hell am I talking about? Gosh. Go ahead, Cole. What you about to make? What point you about to make, bro?
Just let one last point on that. You know, Lamar Jackson is such a nice person, a nice guy, right? And he loves his teammates. He even loved the management in Baltimore. It was like they were a close-knit family. But now it's time to sit at the negotiation table. He needs to know how to flip the switch. He has to understand the difference between a personal relationship and business relationship. You know, and when you're in the negotiations, you have to be a pit bull. I mean, I do negotiations for my job, and it's a way you need to approach that. So he has to remember, they're not his boys anymore. You know what I mean? They're not his friends. They're not his guys. You know what I mean? He has to, anything they throw in his face, he need to be ready to throw it back. You know, so what? So what my completion percentage was this. Guess what? We won a division. We made the playoffs. You know what I mean? The years I got hurt, I put you in positions so well that we still made the playoffs. Even with y'all losing 90% of your games when I was out. So, you know what I mean? So he has to throw that back in their face. Like, there's no success in Baltimore these last 5 years without Lamar Jackson. Period.
That's right.
Well, guess what? Guess what, guys? He's going to make a power play at the end of the day. He's going to have the last word. Let me tell you what he's going to do.
What's that?
He's not going to show up. He's not going to play this year.
Don't do that.
He's going to force their hand.
That always works against the
Don't do that, Lamar Jackson. Hey, if you're listening, Lamar, first of all,
he's going to force their hand.
Hire Kobe. And listen to Mo.
Yeah.
If you do that, they own your rights, bro. And they're gonna own your rights forever. Because when they draft you, they have your rights, right? So
he's not showing up.
You need to show up.
He's not showing up to training camp.
No, training camp is different. I'm talking about to the games.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, let me finish that up. Let me finish that up, bro.
It's so annoying though. Like, what the people paying for? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, he's not showing up to camp. He's not playing any game. He's not playing in any games. He's not. I don't see it happening. Because let's
see how many tickets they sell when they announce over the spring that Huntley's going to be the starting quarterback for the entire year. Let's see what happens then.
So, gentlemen, I agree with you in principle, right? But we're talking about business. They own his rights if he don't play a certain percentage of the games. So he has to play those percentages of the games to get his rights back. And then I'm sitting out, whether it's 10 games or whatever, show up, play those 10 games, and then I'm out. I would even let it be known publicly, since y'all want to collude against me, I'm going to lay it on the table. Hey, Baltimore fans, I'm going to be there for 10 games. Y'all might want to get there fast because it's selling quick. And after these 10 games, your boy is out. So don't buy no tickets week 11 on, because it's a 10-game show.
Right.
That'll be awesome.
Speaking of the Lamar Jackson situation, right? Let me ask you guys this, man. Should the NFL eliminate the franchise tag?
Why?
I like the way
it sounds like you protecting Dallas Cowboys. What's going on? Why?
Yeah, we talked about.
You sound like you work for Jerry Jones or something. What's going on?
I tell you one thing, our business straight over there.
Yeah. Don't brag too much, man. Whatever, man. Look here. The reason why I'm asking this question, man, because here's the thing. We just sit there and talked about it with Lamar Jackson, right? Drafted towards the end of the first round. He's been there for 4 years. And then it's like you can't become you think you're a free agent, but then again, you're like restricted. So they can go ahead and franchise you that first year. Then they can franchise you again the second year.
So does that save the organization money? Like, who benefits?
What it benefits the
organization.
It benefits both Fred, because the player gets paid.
It does not benefit
top 5% at their position. Like, bro, let's be clear. Okay. Like, Lamar Jackson ain't play for free last year. I ain't counting his money, but it got 36 million.
But don't you want long term? Don't you? But a lot of these players, Mo, they want long term security. Kobe just had a great year. He led the NFL in sacks and stuff like that. Kobe's been under contract for 4 years. They just franchised him. Kobe's looking for a big payday. You're right. They franchised him. He's getting probably top 5 defensive end money or what have you. But at the end of the day, where's that security? Because if he tears ACL up that following year, then what? He's out of that. He's out of the bag.
So I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna disagree with you. I disagree that they got to get rid of it. I do agree. Well, let me see. I agree with you that they got to get rid of it, but the second one, the first one is kind of needed in certain instances, because it gives you a better planning mechanism as to like how to operate. So I believe one franchise tag is enough. The second one I always thought was a little aggravating. You already tagged me once and you ain't figure out my price point by now, then you're never going to figure it out. You're just trying to string me along. It's like somebody who engaged to a significant other for like 10 years. You just stringing me along. You'll never marry me. So I think we have to force the organization's hand at some point to allow this player to be a free agent. But I think it's good enough.
Yeah, I don't like the franchise tag. I think they should get rid of it. I think, you know what the franchise tag is? Getting the last bit of the ketchup. That's what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
great one, buddy. That's a great analogy.
That's what it's doing. Let's get the last bit of this ketchup, and they're gonna use it until it's gone, until they decide they don't want it no more.
Great analogy.
You know what I mean? So you get franchise tag, you get hurt in that season. Guess what? You hurting your long-term success in the league. You hurting your bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they doing to you. And then they tag you again for the second year. Guess what? They doing it. Oh, there's a little bit more in here. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me get it. You know what I'm saying? And if you perform after that second year, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations, you made it. You know what? I'm gonna throw this ketchup bottle away and buy me a new ketchup bottle. And then you good for the next until you empty again.
It's like they can use you up for about 6 years. Because here's the thing, Mo. You're right. You play if you're drafted in the first round, and I'm gonna hurry up and make my point, Mills. You're drafted in the first round. It's a 4-year deal. They pick up your 5th year option. That's 5 years. Then they franchise you. That's 6 years. Franchise you again. That's 7 years. Before you 30, 31 years old. Then at that point, they ain't got no use for you. So you're not gonna even get a lot of these players are not gonna make it to get their bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point that I'm trying to make in terms of that. I'm sorry, Mills.
The life expectancy in NFL, what, 4 years?
Exactly. 3.5. I think it's 3.5, 4 years.
I mean, I let y'all have this conversation because I don't
just
understand
like Kirk Cousins.
it to the
You're right,
depth that you all understand it. So, like I said, who does it benefit? If it benefits primarily the team and not the athlete, then do away with it. But again, that's who's gonna really have that conversation? What owner is gonna have that conversation?
It's a give and take, y'all, because honestly, they're using your skill set, but you got paid an extra year. And to be honest with you, Mills, it benefits the organization short terms, but long term, it's a horrible business strategy. The business strategy, right, is to identify the talent young enough to catch them below market value and give them a contract. That's what successful organizations are doing. And that's where I think you look at the Commanders, even the Cowboys to a certain example, they played it wrong. Had they signed Dak Prescott 2 years or a year before his deal was up, they would have paid $60 million less. Same thing with Tony Pollard. We're paying him $10 million a season. Had we paid him last year at the going rate of a running back, he would be under contract now for 4 years, $20 million, or 3 years, $12 million. So it's actually a bad business strategy on both sides. But it only happens and it occurs when you can't assess a player's true market value. That's what the franchise tag is. It's like, all right, I don't really know your market, whether that's injury history, whether that's inconsistency, or whatever the case may be. When it gets perplexing is a player like Lamar Jackson. I'm always critical of Lamar Jackson. because he's one of my favorite players, and I believe that he's just too nice, right? So I want him to just do things differently, but he's an MVP. This is very rare, Mills, and team. I'm only 36, but I haven't seen an MVP get treated like this. I'll be honest. I will
disrespect, man.
It's so disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
Usually MVPs don't make it to a franchise tag.
Yeah.
Right. That's for your Kirk Cousins, your Dax. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, it worked for Kirk Cousins. I can say that.
But as we work our way through this and discuss free agency and franchise tags and contracts and stuff, it brings me back. It brings back the Colin Kaepernick documentary when he compared the NFL to the slave trade. Yeah. And I'm seeing it. I see it.
Yeah.
You're right, bro. That's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point, man.
You're not lying. And everything in the NFL is relatable to that kind of trade. They own your rights. You are at a combine as to where they look at your measurables, almost like a slave blockade. They're measuring you up against your other contemporaries. And yes, it's a business that's very cynical, because the whole product is to use your body up until you're no longer serviceable to this organization. And I'm gonna say this real quick. It hurt my heart today to see Ezekiel Elliott get released from a personal standpoint, right? But from a business standpoint, I get it because he's washed. But personally, this is a man that laid everything on the line, right? He played hurt a lot of times to his detriment, right? And then when he's no longer serviceable, we just kicked him. We kind of kicked him to the curb.
That's the NFL for you, bro.
But you missed it, Mo. You was just logging on. So Zeke signed a 3-year contract for the concession stand at Dallas Stadium. So he's gonna be So you can catch him. You want some hot dogs, steak and cheese?
No, Kobe. What's gonna happen is
Mo.
What's gonna happen is he'll go.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be in the middle of that hallway like this. Y'all want something to eat?
Hey, Mill. Before I look here, I gotta tell you guys this though. I do think the NBA can use the franchise tag. I do think so.
No,
that's
I love it.
That's the league that need the franchise tag, the NBA.
No, I love employee freedom.
You say you love
well, hey, look, NFL is a dangerous place because anytime that the organization
BA said it, NFL means not for long.
Yeah, but anytime an organization has more leverage or holds more weight than the employee, than the players, like the shield, the NFL shield is bigger than the player. But in the NBA, the player is bigger than the shield. You see what I'm saying? The success of the NBA
They're about to change that though.
Is generated from the players.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it started with Jordan, going international. And then we started getting other superstars to carry that, keep the torch moving.
Right.
But that's how you do it. You gotta let the people who putting in the work, who putting butts in the seats, get the credit, get the success, get paid.
Yeah.
Facts.
Hey, I gotta disagree with you, bro. And I'm gonna put something on your mind. I bet y'all never thought about this, right? So they do have a franchise system. It is called the second contract for a rookie. Right when that rookie, yes, and y'all know what I'm talking about. When they give them the
extension,
yes, that's how they get to hold on to the Anthony Edwards, and the call. Because I'm telling you right now, some of these franchises they suck, and they've been sucking. Sacramento Kings, welcome back to the NBA. Y'all been gone for about 20 years, right?
Vlade Divac ain't walking through that door. Go ahead.
So some of these teams, if they didn't have that option, man, everybody would be playing in South Beach in LA. So that's one of the things I'm saying right now. I think the NBA needs to get rid of, and I'm in full agreement with Kobe. Like, get rid of that second contract where it's like a bonus to stay with that team, and just make it fair market. Because then now you may be able to see a Luka Doncic on the New York Knicks,
right?
Or you may be able to see a De'Aaron Fox with the LA Lakers. Because some of these organizations in the NBA are just trash.
Right?
They do not have any intention on truly ever winning, and they just use the talent up. And then by the time they get to that real free agent period, that player is like 20, 25, 26 years old.
Right. You're right. All right, Mills, I got something for you. I thought about you when I brought this up because I actually want to get your opinion on it. Big Toe, just bear me for 1 second.
Yeah.
You know I'm going somewhere with this, so yeah, just bear me for a second. I'm always up to something. Anybody, do we want to talk about this?
Why?
Huh?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, Kobe, do you think we need to talk about this?
I mean, what is it?
Like, where we going, bro?
Kobe said, what is this? So this is what Russell Wilson and his wife Sierra. I think they had the Oscars or something to that extent. Look at BAB and say, yes, sir, CC. And let me ask you guys this. It's just a question. I ain't got no problem with it. I like it. Okay. There's been a lot of criticism. Look, Jeff Smith said, ain't no way in hell. There's been a lot of criticism of this guy right here, Russell Wilson. Everybody's calling him a simp. He's weak and stuff like that. And they're like, how can you let your wife come outside like that? I just want to get you guys' opinion. I ain't trying to start nothing.
No, I got this one.
You got
it. Let Mills close it out. Let him be the closer on this one. I'm gonna just say one little small thing.
Fredo said, He's not letting her do anything, right? I do understand. I see it's very risque. I did not watch the Oscars. I did hear about everybody saying this is, this was too much. I mean, for me, yeah, it's a little much. I can see how guys would be like, that's my wife. I don't think so. But I mean, we don't know what agreement they have. And, we can't tell from this picture if he was 100% okay with it. But you know what?
It don't look like
he didn't stop it, right? He was there when she was getting dressed in the hotel. He knew what the plan was. And, this is marketing. This is how Sierra makes her money. So, and I'm not saying by getting naked or getting half naked or wearing, I don't know if there's a chainmail, whatever it is, it's see-through, right? I don't know if you could see her nipples, you could see her butt cheeks. So, is it a little much for me at my age that's not necessarily tasteful for me. And most guys I know probably would be like, nah, we can't do that. But again, that's their relationship. He ain't letting her. Clearly she did it. But that's not the look I would choose, but she wearing it. And
Simone Faison said a lot of women were dressed like that, not just Sierra. Even Savannah James was there.
Savannah James wasn't dressed well, unless it was at a party, because the dress I saw her in, she looked great. I think it was a white dress. But yeah, some men would want to show their wives off. I know a lot of people talk about how religious Russell Westbrook is. I don't know if Sierra matches that, again, taking a picture, maybe he did feel like, dang, but again, that's not his choice to make. That's her choice to make. And that's how she makes her money. So if they're going to stay relevant, this is how they stay relevant, by having us talk about them, use our time where we could be talking about Zeke leaving and talk about why she got.
Man, the hell was Zeke.
Talk about why she's a little bit underdressed for that, but there were a lot of women dressed with see-through stuff on, and maybe that's what's in style.
Again, I don't have no issue with it. I love it.
That's the uniform for these celebrity entertainers nowadays. They wear stuff like that,
especially when they need some coin. Right? They need people.
But Sierra was dressing like that before they got married. She was doing,
I've never seen her dress nude like that.
I ain't never seen that, Kobe. I've never seen that.
But she danced all hard.
Look at when they on stage. All the performers now wear thongs.
Yeah.
Nobody wear a regular outfit no more. You know what I mean?
I think got the TLC look.
No, they ain't got the TLC. But this go back to like an over masculine society. Man, in 2023, whatever your woman want to rock, you gotta support it. It's not your body. Obviously, she putting in work in the gym.
Mo noticed that. 430 Mo noticed that.
Hey, if you putting in that kind of work, you might want to show off a couple things. Like, I'll be honest, my profile on Bleacher Report, I ain't got on no shirt. Because you know what I mean? I'll put in a little bit of work. And my wife don't really have a problem with it. Shout out,
man. Her bilaterals and bisexuals, man.
You know, so at the end of the day, you know, I would support it. I would tell her like, hey, look, I don't want to hear anything when your DM is blowing up and all that shit, because you know what's gonna come with it. You know, but nobody should be touching her or anything like that. And honestly, like Mill said, we don't know their relationship. That ain't for me to judge. Now, was it a little bit much for the Oscars? Probably, right? I mean, that's because it's just a formal event, right? Like there's a time and place. But as far as
and
like
that at the Oscars or was that an Oscar party? Because that's they
That's a good question, Mills.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
But Russell Wilson was getting heavily criticized. I'm like, why would you let your wife? I'm like,
right? She not with her girls. She with him. So at the end of the day, if Russ stood on the corner and be like, "This me right here," what we got to say? Nothing. This me right here.
I only got to say, Sierra didn't look like Russell Wilson's wife that night. She looked like Future's girl.
Which one?
How many?
Which one?
No, I'm saying when she was Future.
With him.
Yeah. She had a flashback. She thought
she was man. Future.
And some of that Russell Wilson hate is jealousy, man. Some of them guys take that hate out your heart, man. You're mad. He got
what's wrong with
he got a nice woman on his arm. He a millionaire. So they a lot of guys just hating, man. However he conducts his business and however he want to handle his household, that's up to Russell Wilson. He ain't my quarterback, so I don't care what he play like on the field. You know what I'm saying? People just need to take that hate out their heart for Russell Wilson. He's a brother-ish, I believe, right? You got a little brother in, right?
So a little brother, yeah, brother.
No.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. You know black dominate. Stop that foolishness, man.
I'm on TDY right now, and now you be surprised. He might have something. I don't know anymore.
Okay. I got one more for y'all. Okay, I got one more for y'all. Remember me for 1 second. I got one more. Mills are just laughing away.
I just want to know what's this one.
The Chris Rock or something, baby.
I got one more. Just bear me.
Did we talk about him?
No, we didn't even get the chance to talk about him.
I knew it.
You knew it.
I knew it.
So did anyone, you guys did see the special, correct, on Netflix?
Yeah, and I saw this show live back in the fall.
Okay, you said you saw this show?
You saw it live, man?
Yeah, he did. He went harder on this show, but it's the same show.
Mill, elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was two different sets.
No, virtually the same set, but he went harder on the Jada and Will thing.
What are your thoughts about this, though? What are your thoughts about it? It's fair or foul?
Show or
you're a comedian.
This man was embarrassed in front of an international audience, and I probably told you all this. I was in Dominican Republic last year on Oscars night and watched it. There is no delay internationally, so I saw this happen live, and I thought his jaw was gonna fall off. Like I literally stood up at the TV, like what? Yeah. I mean, it was just horrible.
He took it like a G.
For him to not react when he probably wanted to, you gonna keep it playing?
I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Like you gonna keep it going?
No, he needed this, right? He needed this to release that because male ego is something else. I mean, my ego would have been something else to know. I mean, think about when we were little and you got chumped, right? And that feeling when you got chumped because you hesitated, meaning you hesitated because you were nervous not to fight back, or because it just I know I can't do this right now, or my mama said, if they hit me first, that whole thing, but we've all been in that situation. Y'all can say your own story where you've been chumped, and he was chumped. And he didn't react. And I'm glad there were not two black men on the stage, the Oscar stage, rumbling. But Will was wrong. Yes, he admitted and he apologized and all of that. I think forgiveness is great for everybody. And I'm going to forgive Chris for going so hard on Jada, because I'm like, what really happened there? Because it almost turned out to be he was more on Jade. Like, I'm like, what she, she ain't return your phone call. Like, it's always something petty, that came.
Well, Mills, it could be more than that. It could be more to it than that we don't know about.
It absolutely is, but again, it just, that didn't really sit right with me. Like, he went so hard on her because it was Will. It was Will who walked up there, keep my wife's name out your Emma effing mouth. I literally watching something live like that and with no delay, it is something to behold. But I'm glad he got it off his chest. He came back the victor because he made, I don't know what, 80 million off of this or something like that.
40, I think got 40 million.
40 million. I doubled his money, but
it's all
he pocketed some more change.
Right.
For him to have to wait so long. So the show that I saw, he was dropping stuff. He was like, yeah, it hurt. He said some things, but this, he went more in depth with it. I like Chris Rock. I've always liked Chris Rock. I am a student of comedy, so I don't necessarily get the hee-haw cracking up laughing because I'm listening. I'm listening to the story and how they tie it up, which he is awesome at doing that and bringing everything back around. But I was not sitting at the Landmark. It's not the Landmark Theater anymore. It's called Altria on VCU's campus in Richmond. I was not like crying, laughing. There were some like moments where I was like, okay, but it wasn't like, Robin Harris back in the 80s, right? Where we just about to pee on ourselves because it's so
Baby kids.
But I mean, again, that's my thing. He got it off his chest. He was punked in front of the entire world. And to wait a year to get it just right, timing is everything. And another thing people talk about was, why was he in Baltimore and not Philly, right? Baltimore is Jada's hometown. And they could have been because we already played Philly,
No.
It's just something else that we don't
exactly.
know.
It could be something else behind that. That's the same thing I was thinking as well. What you got, Cobra? Before we wrap it up, bro.
I mean, the comedy special was okay. I mean, it wasn't one of his funniest,
right?
But I think he just used it as a venting session. He had a lot to get off his chest. He had a lot of frustration. He just wanted to let it out, and that's what he did. And I know at the
getting
end,
it out ain't always pretty, right?
Yeah, it's not always pretty, and I know he said some harsh things, referencing, Jada and Will at the end. But whatever he say, you know what? I just think they just gotta take it on the chin and swallow their pride and move on. Because at the end of the day, it was that man that was assaulted on the stage in front of millions and millions of people all across the world.
Facts. All right. Last words, man. What do you guys got any plans this week before we go ahead and wrap up? What's your plans, Mills?
I got a show I'm doing for the Portland alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated on Saturday.
Okay.
I got some news I want to break, but I want to break it on my show first. Y'all.
All right. Yeah. Okay. What you got, Cobra?
Well, of course, March Madness starting this week. So come on, bro. You already know what it is with that. And then also I'm going to go check out the Globetrotters this weekend.
Bad. That's what's up. What you got, Mo?
Mine's is less glorious, man. I got to go clean out my grandpa's storage, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then celebrate my father-in-law's birthday this weekend.
That's
what's up. Like you, Kobe, I'm just going to sit back, relax, man. Give me some me time in and watch some March Madness, man. Just sit back and enjoy and just, keep effing around with this daggone remote. That's it, going to game. So
who you got winning it all, Fred?
I got Alabama, babe. Go ahead and give us your Final Four right quick before we get up out of here.
I got Alabama too, but I don't remember my Final Four.
Well, you don't remember your final, but you got Alabama. I think so. I think we all got Alabama, right, winning it, correct?
Yeah.
All right, let me find out. So, okay, that's what's up. All right, Mills, get us on out of here, huh?
Thank y'all for watching this week. We'll be back next week with the No Cap Sports Show podcast, where sports and convos collide. Y'all have a good rest of your week. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And y'all got to excuse my Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Look right here too. So
yes, all my students know we playing Bracketville in my class. We picked the teams. One of my students was like, "Man, I picked Northwestern," and I was like, "I mean, you know,
well, yeah,
it's you know,
if it was it's academics, yeah, but
no, I mean it's still. I try to tell it's anybody's game." One student picked Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I was like,
all right, yeah. Just ain't quite, yeah. Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Good night, yeah.
There are 4 fouls on the play. That's why it took so long. Running into the kicker, number 34 in the receiving team.